I looked, and there was this big reddish-brown thing, and it was wide at the shoulders, long arms, human hands, huge human hands, and looking at me. This part really breaks me every time I remember, because I got paralyzed in fear at the moment, because this thing was bigger than any grizzly bear and was glaring at me with a face that I can only describe as a hungry predator. Before I start, I just want to say that I'm crying as I write this, because the memories are extremely traumatic. It happened in 1997, in my last year working as a ranger. It was also this event that got me fired. I was patrolling an area that was not very frequented by visitors because of the density of the bushes and because it wasn't an easy area. I stood there, and this thing charged at me with full force, and I entered the Jeep almost instantly. The creature crashed into the Jeep, breaking the door's window, and the thing grunted in pain. I turned the Jeep on and accelerated beyond the speed limit of the park. I looked behind me for a second, and this monster was running after the Jeep on all fours, just like a chimp. I panicked even more, and I increased the speed, and some curves later, I finally lost it. My boss confronted me about the Jeep having one of the sides damaged and the broken window. And when I told him that a big animal attacked me, he got angry at me and called me a liar who sleeps on the job, and accused me of crashing the Jeep on a tree and making stories up to not get in trouble, and fired me.
A man named Hunter Peter claims to have the body of a Bigfoot stored in a freezer.
It has 5 toes. You can see its very large hands. See its eyes. It clearly is a male. You can see right there. This is the front of the Sasquatch. You know, compared to a human's hand, like my hand's not even close.
The footage shows what he says is a Sasquatch corpse, frozen and packed with ice. The body is enormous, matching the typical descriptions of Bigfoot, with dark brown matted fur, large hands, and an overall massive physique. The head appears decayed and bloodied, with closed eyes and jagged teeth, giving it a very realistic appearance.
Coyote Ridge Bigfoot caught on camera in eastern Sierras. Bill writes RMSO. Bigfoot watching my dog play in the eastern Sierras back in May. The elevation is close to 10,000 feet or higher. Everything happened in about the first 10 seconds. If you enlarge the video and pay close attention to the far left, you'll see it walking rapidly behind the trees and through the snow.
Video shows a massive, dark Sasquatch-like creature dropping a huge tree branch onto the man's tent. Upon zooming in, the creature appears to be covered in long, dark hair, with broad shoulders and a massive head, significantly larger than a human's. When compared to the tent, which is likely 4 to 5 feet tall, the typical height of a 1 to 2 person camping.
I will enlarge the Bigfoot-shaped subject by 400%, and then I will slow it down to half speed so that we can get a really good look at it. The dog is looking in its direction at the beginning of the video in the upper left corner of the video frame. The subject moves very smoothly. None or very little up and down, and at first, I didn't think it was even moving its arm.
The following trail cam video is claimed to show close-up and clear footage of a Bigfoot, and for some, it's among the most convincing evidence to date. According to MVTV, the location was near Close River on the Oregon and California border. The trail camera was strapped to a tree branch about 10 feet off the ground. Take a look at this chilling footage. The camera, originally set up to record a feeder below, captured a massive creature. It's dark and completely covered in long, shaggy hair. The face is terrifying, resembling a monkey's, but it's clearly not any type of monkey. Given that the camera was placed 10 feet up, this creature is estimated to be around 8 feet tall, as its head is only a couple of feet below the camera. It features a man doing construction work in a forest, operating a backhoe as part of his job. Unbeknownst to him, a trail camera set up near the site captured something unusual lurking in the background. The creature seen in the footage looks enormous, estimated to be at least 9 feet tall based on its position. It appears to be observing the man from a distance, seemingly intrigued by what he's doing. If this was indeed a Bigfoot, it might have been fascinated by the construction activity, possibly because it had never encountered anything like it before. The man operating the backhoe never noticed or heard the creature, so if not for the trail camera, no one would have known it was there. In June 2023, a mother and daughter were taking a walk along a familiar path in the woods, a route they had traversed many times without any unusual or frightening experiences. However, this day turned out to be different. As they enjoyed the tranquility of nature, they were suddenly interrupted by a massive, unidentified creature. The creature was spotted in the brush just off the path. A giant hairy beast that, upon realizing it had been seen, quickly turned and fled. The mother, visibly shaken in the footage, urgently called for her daughter to run inside. Despite her fear, she managed to capture a fairly clear video of the creature. Zooming in for a closer look, the creature appears to be covered in brownish fur, with its face and hands being the only areas not covered. Its face, in particular, looks terrifying. A photo was recently released that was taken by a driver's dash cam around 1:10 a.m. in Anaheim Hills, California, in a small suburban neighborhood. The photo captures a dark, hairy creature that appears both ape-like and human-like, unlike gorillas and apes, which typically hunch over when they move. This creature stands upright, leading many to believe it's not a monkey at all, but possibly a Sasquatch. The Sasquatch, commonly known as Bigfoot, is an infamous creature often reported across the U.S. However, Bigfoot has never been officially recognized by science. Despite this, the abundance of photographic and video evidence, along with numerous first-hand accounts, has led many to believe in its existence. Bigfoot is said to be very elusive, usually staying hidden from sight. One particularly unsettling moment occurs at 7:17 a.m., when the entire forest falls unnaturally silent, something the team has observed in past encounters. Although no creature is visually confirmed, the consistency and calculated nature of the sounds suggests some form of intelligence, possibly indicating that they were being observed by something deliberately staying out of sight. It features a man doing construction work in a forest, operating a backhoe as part of his job. A man named Hunter Peter claims to have the body of a Bigfoot stored in a freezer. His exploration leads him to a strange trail of fresh, massive footprints that seem to vanish into the darkness. Despite the unease growing within him, Bear is driven to see where they lead.
Man, my hands feel like they're gonna freaking fall off. All this is slippery. Oh man. Went down. All freaking muddy. There's more tracks. There's more tracks. Freaking cold. I got wet, my legs wet after falling in that thing. Look, here's freaking tracks, man. More tracks. Where are they going? And that's some weird symbol there. I don't know, man. That's a little insane, Sam. Considering what all is happening.
The team records a series of faint, yet distinct footsteps circling their campsite. The movements are slow and intentional, clearly an effort to stay quiet, but still captured by their sensitive audio gear. These sounds continue until well past 4:30 a.m., with one team member noting that birds had already begun singing before the footsteps finally ceased. At the 7:30 timestamp, a dark humanoid figure can be seen moving from left to right in the reflection of the water. At the time, Bear doesn't notice it, but when he reviews the footage, the realization sends shivers down his spine. Had he noticed it in real time, he might have abandoned the location immediately. Another eerie discovery is made around the 15:54 timestamp. In the background of the footage, something appears to be swinging from a tree. The motion is subtle yet unnatural, as if an unseen force is causing it to swing. Just before darkness completely takes over, he spots movement. A shadowy figure darts behind a tree, just beyond the reach of his flashlight. Though he can't make out any details, the sight alone is enough to send a chill down his spine. Then, the night takes an even more chilling turn. While scanning his surroundings, a faint whistle echoes through the trees.
Is that a whip?
One particularly unsettling moment occurs at 7:17 a.m., when the entire forest falls unnaturally silent, something the team has observed in past encounters. Although no creature is visually confirmed, the consistency and calculated nature of the sounds suggests some form of intelligence, possibly indicating that they were being observed by something deliberately staying out of sight. Later, viewers reviewing the footage point out a chilling detail. At the 7:30 timestamp, a dark humanoid figure can be seen moving from left to right in the reflection of the water. At the time, Bear doesn't notice it, but when he reviews the footage, the realization sends shivers down his spine. Later, viewers reviewing the footage point out a chilling detail. At the 7:30 timestamp, a dark humanoid figure can be seen moving from left to right in the reflection of the water. At the time, Bear doesn't notice it, but when he reviews the footage, the realization sends shivers down his spine. His exploration leads him to a strange trail of fresh, massive footprints that seem to vanish into the darkness. Despite the unease growing within him, Bear is driven to see where they lead.
Man, my hands feel like they're gonna freaking fall off. All this is slippery. Oh, man. I just went down. All freaking muddy. There's more tracks. There's more tracks. I'm really freaking cold. I got wet, my legs wet after falling in that thing. Look, here's freaking tracks, man. More tracks. Where are they going? And that's some weird symbol there. I don't know, man. That's a little insane, fam. Considering what all has happened here.
The footprints guide him to a frozen lake, where more prints mar the surface. A chill of fear washes over him, and Bear decides it's time to retreat. He realizes he's deep in the woods, and whatever made those prints could still be nearby. He leaves one last camera rolling, just in case something occurs while he sleeps. Eventually, Bear succumbs to sleep, the cold wilderness pressing in around him. However, upon reviewing the footage the next morning, he discovers the camera captured something startling. A loud bang reverberated through the stillness. Something struck Bear's truck. Yet, as he slept soundly, he will never know what caused the noise in the night. The sun rises, bringing the usual calm of the forest. The location, ominously known as Shadow Figure Forest, has a reputation for eerie sounds, strange sightings, and even reported Bigfoot activity. Bear's objective was to explore the area, investigate the massive structures scattered throughout the woods, and spend the night alone to see what unfolds after dark. However, as the night progresses, the experience turns out to be far more horrifying than he ever anticipated. As Bear begins his exploration, he immediately notices the unsettling atmosphere around him. As he approaches the clearing, The sounds intensify and become more distinct. He stops abruptly, camera rolling, attempting to pinpoint the source of the noise. Then, in the distance, he catches sight of a dark figure moving through the trees. First, he thinks it must be another person. However, something about the way it moves feels off. It's significantly larger than an average human and seems to glide effortlessly between the trees, covering ground far too rapidly for a typical hiker. Its arms are elongated, its shoulders broad, and its movements unnaturally fluid. He attempts to get a clearer view, but the figure vanishes into the woods in an instant. Something stirs just outside his tent, and the sound of leaves crunching and twigs snapping signals that whatever it is has moved in much closer. His breathing grows heavier as he strains to discern whether it's an animal, a person, or something even more sinister. The fear in his voice is palpable as he struggles to remain calm, whispering that he feels trapped inside the tent, unable to see what is lurking just beyond the fabric. Minutes tick by, but the presence outside shows no signs of leaving. Suddenly, a jarring thud reverberates through the ground nearby, as if something large has stepped closer. His flashlight illuminates nothing, yet the intensity of the moment convinces him that whatever is out there is watching.
So, every time we come up here, we have the microphones on and we have earphones throughout the night, and we always hear something messing around the campsite with the dishes, moving stuff on the tables. We look outside to the windows, we don't see anything. We usually have the flare pointed outward, but you know what? Let's have it pointed toward the campsite this time and see if maybe if we start hearing it, we could see whatever it is, being that it's heat.
His survival instincts kick in. He quickens his pace, all while keeping his camera rolling to capture the final moments of his terrifying night. Just before reaching his vehicle, he hears another growl, this time much closer. Without hesitation, he jumps into his truck and speeds away, leaving the forest and its mysteries behind. Tonight, he's venturing into the heart of a forest where viewers have reported sightings of the elusive cryptid Bigfoot. It's January 2nd, 2025, and Bear arrives in the woods late in the evening as temperatures plummet, making his way to a remote campsite far from civilization. Unbeknownst to him, the forest harbors secrets he is about to discover.
All right, let's get this fire going.
Despite the biting cold, Bear is determined to set up camp. He quickly lights a fire, the crackling flames providing a small comfort against the encroaching. In this particular video, Dee recounts a chilling encounter she experienced while walking her dogs in the woods near her vacation bungalow in Ohio. Although she had no intention of filming during her holiday, the unsettling nature of her experience compelled her to document it. On June 29th, 2024, while enjoying her vacation in the pleasant weather, Dee decided to embark on a short adventure with her two. As she made her way back toward the trail for safety, Dee still felt an unsettling presence, hearing strange noises and catching glimpses of shadowy movements just out of sight. Her discomfort escalated, and the quiet rustling in the trees heightened her anxiety. Feeling increasingly convinced that something was wrong, Dee finally decided to return to the exit. After reviewing his footage later, he confirms what he already suspected. He witnessed something genuine, the shape, the movements, the immense size of the figure. It wasn't merely an animal. Could it have been Bigfoot? While skeptics might brush it off as a bear, a shadow, or an overactive imagination, he knows what he observed. The broad shoulders, the long arms, and the smooth yet deliberate way it moved. All indications of something not yet recognized by science. Was this just another addition to the growing list of sightings? Or was it something entirely different? One thing is for sure. The eerie howls, the movement surrounding his tent, and his dog's strange behavior all contribute to an experience he cannot explain. Was it a known predator, a human intruder, or something more mysterious? Perhaps even the legendary dogman that countless others claim to have encountered in remote wilderness areas. In this particular video, he embarks on a solo camping trip deep into a secluded woodland area rumored to be haunted, linked to sightings of cryptids like Bigfoot and the notorious dogman. Lar had been attempting to access this specific stretch of wilderness for months, and finally located an entrance just days before filming. His objective was to camp deep in the forest, document his experience, and test his courage by remaining until 3 a.m., a time often associated with heightened paranormal activity. As he ventures in, he comments on the eerie atmosphere, describing the forest as ancient, untouched, and unsettlingly quiet. One particular spot stands out, cleared in a way that looks unnatural, as if cut with a machete, or prepared by someone for a specific purpose.
I'm gonna leave this right here. Good. Look at, hey.
Dude, it's so flat. I don't know if it was this flat the last time.
Why is it all